Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're checking out Ubuntu 25.10, which just dropped today, October the 9th, 2025. I had a little bit of time to dig into it, and this is my review as we walk through some of the things that are on this new distro that is out. Or I should say this new release that's out. What's changed under the hood? We're gonna look at some things that have changed, not go into too far into detail. We're also gonna look at some apps that I do recommend installing right after you've installed this. Once again, thanks for tuning in, and this is the Linux Preacher, where we are sharing the gospel of freedom. All right. So first of all, we've got Ubuntu 25.10. And I really want us to understand that, this is a great new release that we've got. You do have to understand that it is a long-term support release. So what that means is that we're only going to have support that's going to last for only about 9 months. So up until July 2026 is when we'll actually have support for this particular release here. We also got to understand that this is because it's not a long-term support release. So you're going to get a lot of new changes that are, I would say, experimental, kind of, sort of, or maybe bleeding edge, I guess. It also ships with Linux kernel 6.17 by default, which brings updated hardware enablement, performance improvement, and also driver updates too as well. You've also got some, it also includes a new tool chain, GCC 15, newer libraries, and various things too as well that are also behind the scenes on this new release here. One of the pros, that one of the things I do, well, a few of the things I do like, is that it's cleaner. The operating system looks much cleaner now. The user interface I should say looks a lot cleaner. It's a lot smoother. It's more modern. You got more modern apps by default, for instance. Now now I do feel like they're moving to a stronger direction on security. We got the rush rewrites, TPM, encryptions, and just better things by default for sure. And like I said, the UI is more polished. It has been improved. It's smoother, has smoother animation. That them switching from Xorg over to Waveland, that is a bold move. It is, but it's definitely, I feel like, the right move for them to make. And you also got to understand that they're pushing more modern tooling to make sure that the new releases are the best they can be. I want to make sure I'm choosing my words correctly, but that they can be the best they can be out of the box. That when you install this, you won't have to worry about trying to go here or there or do this and that. That when you put this on your computer, when you put this on your tablet, when you put this on whatever you're looking to put it on, that this is going to be all that you need. Now, if I had to look at some of the cons on this, of course, it's a what we consider a long-term support, so it'll be considered an interim release. And you have to understand that when you have a long-term support release, that stability isn't always guaranteed. There may be some bugs and some different things here or there that you may have to kind of overcome because of that, and because it's not a long-term support release. That's kind of my con I got. That's about that's about really the only thing I can say. Is that we don't have that. There's some other things too that other people may disagree on, but I would really say that's about the only thing so far. This release it's super strong. It's nice. It's nice to look at. And it functions nice as well, because sometimes things look nice, but when you get to the bottom dollar, it doesn't always have the value that you would hope and dream for. But I will say this release so far has me won over for sure. I will say that. And there may be some things later on that I see that I don't like. Maybe some things that are on that I see that I do like. Maybe I may do an updated review on that, but as of now, that's what I would say. Application I would say that I would recommend that you go ahead and get just right off the bat, of course, Chromium. Now, I'm a big Chrome user when I use Windows full time, years ago. years and years ago, that is. For those who know how long I've been doing Linux videos. But I did have a break, of course, and during that time period I did use Windows a little bit, even Mac OS a little bit, and Chrome is one that a browser that I really love. And of course, in the Linux world, we use Chromium, which is the open source version of Chrome by Google. And so that's what I recommend as your day-to-day browser, honestly. Chromium. It's really great. But if you're not really a big fan of Google, don't like the Chrome browser, then of course I would say definitely go with Firefox. When it comes to Office or productivity packages, I would definitely make sure that you've got LibreOffice. Of course, my second favorite thing when it comes to Office or productivity suites is just use Google. If you have a Google account, you're going to have Google Docs, you're going to have, Google Spread, you're going to have Google, you're going to have the Google suite there. It's cloud, it's online. So you know that it's always going to be there as long as you have access to the internet. You're going to have that. That's what I really recommend. Now, when it comes to things such as media, video, music, I do got a few recommendations. My two recommendations, I'm just gonna kind of get that out there is of course VLC. Some of you already knew where I was going. VLC plays almost anything, and I mean almost anything. When it comes to videos, there isn't too many applications that kind of compares to VLC. It plays almost anything. And also Rhythmbox too as well. Rhythmbox is really great for music. I recommend that for music, and of course VLC for videos. And look, let's take a look at it right quick. So of course, like I told you before, Firefox already comes pre-installed here. You got your app store, you got your files right here when you first install this. Now, to those who aren't used to the way Ubuntu does things, it may take some getting used to if this is like your first rodeo with it or whatever. It may take some getting used to. Now, if you wanted to go to show your apps, you would click here, and you got your system, utilities, your terminal, text editor. The biggest thing is making sure you get the application that you need. When you first get this, you may not have everything you need. Like, you may want to have a webcam application. I recommend getting Cheese for that. You may want to get start recording things, videos and things like that. I would recommend getting OBS Studios. I'm sorry. You may want to do some image editing, kind of like Photoshop. I recommend getting GIMP, of course. You may want to record your screen. I recommend doing something like Kazam or something like that. There's so many different apps that I would recommend for sure for you to use, is what I'm saying. So out the box, you may not get everything you need, but you can definitely get everything you need from the App Store. Okay, I'm just gonna go to Ubuntu.com here. And if you're wondering how do you download it, you just go to Ubuntu.com, of course, and then we would go to the menu. We would go to download Ubuntu, hit desktop, and you would download it from right here. There's also other flavors too as well of Ubuntu, so like X Ubuntu, L Ubuntu, and basically these different distributions basically just have different environments. Like, you have the X Ubuntu, which uses the XFCE, and just various ones. I think we still have K Ubuntu too as well, which uses a different kind of environment. So there's a wide variety of Linux distributions that you can get, and there's also a wide variety of flavors of just Ubuntu itself that's out there too as well. Well, look, I'm going to get off of here. I've been here long enough. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, put them in the comment below. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already for more videos like this. And you have an amazing day. And if you can't have one, don't stop someone else from having one as well. You have a great day. Bye-bye.